I don't think Sister Wives Robyn Brown has learned enough since their family tragedy. Her relationship with Kody Brown has ruined the family. Sister Wives Season 19 has brought the Brown family's most tragic moment into the spotlight, and while everyone in the family is mourning the loss of Garrison Brown in their own way, it feels like Robyn Brown hasn't learned what she was meant to from the tough experience. After losing a member of the family so suddenly, viewers were struck with pain for the Brown family and curious about how Sister Wives Season 19 would choose to cover the tragedy. Though it wasn't an easy time for the family to share, the Browns chose to allow cameras into their grief. Kody Brown, who shared Garrison with his ex-wife Janelle Brown, was open about what he was feeling along with Robyn. But it was clear that there was an element of the story missing for Kody's only remaining wife. After dealing with the pain and fallout from his divorces throughout the last few years, losing his son was a tough blow for Kody, who's been tackling his betrayal as head-on as possible. Throughout the most recent episode of Sister Wives, Kody and Robyn revealed their feelings about what was happening, but Robyn's grief was concerning to watch play out on screen. Although the news has been widespread since his 2024 passing, the loss of Garrison was finally introduced on Sister Wives Season 19 during the second half of its long season. Garrison, who passed suddenly and tragically during the early months of 2024, was the son of Janelle and Kody, though he'd grown up with siblings from each of Kody's former wives. At just 25 years old, the family was shaken to the core by Garrison's death and found it difficult to speak about, in part because of their sadness and in part because it would be documented on the show. Garrison's passing was particularly difficult on Janelle and Kody, albeit in different ways. Janelle was close with her son, and the pair shared a sweet bond that made it clear how heavily he relied on her throughout his adulthood. For Kody, things were far more complicated. After Robyn and Garrison struggled to see eye to eye about several family issues, including Kody's strange COVID-19 rules, Garrison became estranged from his father and Robyn. Though there had been some attempts at reconciliation, they hadn't been successful prior to Garrison's passing. The grief surrounding his passing was immense and heavy for the entire family. Although some of the aftermath remains to be seen, Robyn's behavior doesn't appear to have changed in the wake of Garrison's passing. While Kody and Robyn were open about the loss they were dealing with on Sister Wives, Robyn's me-first attitude was quick to come to the forefront during the show's most recent heartbreaking episode. While Robyn was trying to help Kody move through his grief and process her own, things became too difficult for Robyn to focus outside herself for long. Robyn consistently made Kody's tragic loss about her, ignoring the issues that had existed between her and Garrison. After seeing how Robyn's attempts to support Kody through loss are more about her than about him or Garrison, it's clear to me that she hasn't been able to step back and learn from experiencing something so harrowing. Robyn needs to reevaluate her relationship with Kody in a different light, working to try and understand how she can improve as a partner. Making every event about her is Robyn's strong suit, but the Sister Wives star owes it to herself and her family to try and escape her selfish streak. Robyn needs to rethink her priorities before it's too late. The Brown family used to stand for something radical. On Sister Wives, they weren't just parading a plural marriage for reality TV, they were trying to show the world a new way of loving, building, and existing as a family. For over a decade, we watched Mary, Janelle, Cristin, and Robyn navigate the highs and lows of sharing one man, Kody Brown. But today, that vision is all but destroyed. And while many factors played into the unraveling of the Brown household, one thing remains clear. Robyn Brown's relationship with Kody has become the epicenter of the dysfunction, and even now, after so much pain, she doesn't seem to understand, or want to understand, her role in the collapse. The family's deepest tragedy, the loss of Garrison Brown, Janelle's son, shook the very core of the Brown legacy. It should have prompted deep reflection, humility, and a reckoning. Instead, we saw more of the same from Robyn. Tears that didn't lead to action, apologies wrapped in excuses, and a continued grip on the pedestal Kody placed her on. It's hard to watch, because if there were ever a time for true change, for growth, for accountability, it's now, and Robyn, unfortunately, hasn't shown much of it. Robyn has long claimed she wants a big happy family, but her actions say otherwise. From the beginning, she played the role of the spiritual wife, the one who truly got Kody, the one who obeyed the rules, showed devotion, and molded herself to his ego. That may have given her special status, but it came at the cost of her relationships with the other wives and the children they all raised. Her closeness with Kody didn't have to be a weapon, but somewhere along the way, it became one. Whether she meant to or not, Robyn allowed herself to become the wedge between Kody and everyone else. By the time the pandemic hit, the cracks in the foundation were already wide. But instead of coming together, Kody's loyalty turned exclusively to Robyn's household. He quarantined there, dictated strict rules that favored her family, and in doing so, isolated himself from Janelle, Cristin, and Meri. Robyn didn't challenge this. She didn't question why the man who once claimed to be the father of 18 children was suddenly only present for hers. She rationalized it, justified it, hid behind her tears and said she didn't want this, but didn't do anything to stop it. That's the pattern. Robyn cries, but she doesn't act. She mourns the loss of family unity, but doesn't acknowledge how her passive role helped dismantle it. At this point, the other wives have all recognized the truth. Cristin left, Janelle followed, and Meri, though painfully slow to awaken, finally stepped away from the emotional starvation. They've all learned something. They've taken ownership of their own lives and stories. Robyn, on the other hand, still clings to a fantasy where she's blameless and misunderstood. But let's be honest, Robyn's relationship with Kody has changed him, for the worse. He's no longer the goofy, enthusiastic, try-hard patriarch we met in the early seasons. He's now embittered, defensive, and arrogant, and that evolution didn't happen in a vacuum. Kody found validation and obedience in Robyn. He started craving it like a drug, and Robyn, knowingly or not, fed it. She became his echo chamber. She gave him the illusion that he was a great husband and father, even as his relationships with his other wives and many of his children crumbled. And when things went wrong, Robyn comforted him, not challenged him. That's not love, that's codependency. The tragedy of Garrison Brown cast a heavy shadow over this dynamic. A child was lost. Not just any child, a son who felt isolated, unseen, and disrespected by his father. Garrison was vocal about his frustrations with Kody, especially during the pandemic when Kody refused to visit Janelle's home unless strict rules were followed. Robyn could have been the bridge. She could have helped Kody see past his ego and reach out with compassion. She didn't. Instead, she allowed the wedge to deepen. And now, in the wake of unthinkable loss, she offers nothing but more of the same, vague sadness and detached concern. The other children are watching. They see who shows up and who doesn't. They've grown up with cameras, yes, but they've also grown up with the tension. And many of them, like Wendlyn, Peyton, and Madison, have spoken up, echoing a truth that fans have long seen. Kody and Robyn created a hierarchy in the family. And in doing so, they broke the very principle that made polygamy supposedly work, equality. Even now, Robyn could step up. She could confront Kody. She could use her privileged position to demand change, to insist that he make things right with his children and ex-wives. She could finally stop pretending that her hands are clean. But she doesn't. She shields herself behind spiritual language, cries about missing the family, and continues to build a bubble where only her version of events matters. This isn't to say Robyn is evil. She's human. She likely does feel sad and lost. But sadness without growth is stagnation. And stagnation in the face of tragedy is dangerous. If Robyn really wanted to honor the legacy of the Brown family, and more importantly, honor Garrison, she would confront some hard truths. She would start asking herself not just what happened, but how she contributed to it. The Brown family may never return to what it once was. Too much has been broken. But healing is still possible if the people at the center of the damage are willing to change. Cristin, Janelle, and Meri have done the work. Robyn hasn't. And until she does, her relationship with Kody will remain the symbol of what went wrong. Not because she loved him, but because she loved him at the cost of everyone else. Do you think Robyn is capable of real self-reflection and growth at this point in the series?